Verse number 13 we had stopped. That entire session we took on Adveshta Sarvabhutana Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Samadukha Sukhakshami. Krishna is he's giving us the guideline or what should be an ideal behavior of a true devotee. I mean, devotees, I said, are of various grades. But this is a holistic development of a devotee. It's not enough if we worship or meditate or get connect with him. The minute we start connecting with him, obviously our behavior will start. But apart from that, we need to make a conscious effort to develop our personality so that we are staying living in harmony with our environment. What type of environment? Human, and as well as other environment which is created by plants and animals and non-living things also. The entire thing, it's also part of prakriti, if you remember. So we have to live in balance with the ecosystem, and that is the expectation of Krishna. He says, more you follow this, uh, I will manifest more. Bhaktaste tiva me priyaha. I love such devotees. I am more with such people. Not that he will stop supporting us, but more we can manifest that consciousness. If I have to underline this, we all are, uh, uh, we possess that consciousness within our body, and that is the energy which is flowing, and Prakriti is performing. But without that energy, it cannot. So there are two components in our body that will come back again. But anyways, that consciousness, more it manifests, more we become happy and blissful, and we are more productive, and we get along with people very well, and we are successful. Even if you take your day-to-day activities, your work will have a different standard altogether. That is because the consciousness is helping us. It is shining, it's manifesting. So all these are his he says, if you demonstrate these qualities, we need not completely say that I have left it to God. Whatever God wants to do, he will show. That is not enough. That is required, but we need to make put our own effort. He has given our, what is our effort? The choice of choosing the choice of selecting which path we have to go. And another choice is whether we want to really work hard or we want to relax. So these are the things which Krishna says that we must demonstrate this. If we have to be a true devotee, we must demonstrate these qualities, and we also feel good. So today, let me see how many we can finish. Anyway, I will take the first four. Santush, you can refer chapter 12, 14th shloka. Santuष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्ष भयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदम् यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधानामत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः. That actually completes. Let us see how many we can do. Each one is a commandment. If you see each statement, each word in that shloka, in each of these shlokas. So that's why I termed it as live in harmony with yourself within and with people around. So yasmano dvijate loko. One by whom the world is not agitated or affected or perturbed. One by whom the world means people. In my presence, nobody should be feeling uncomfortable. That is yasmano dvijate loko. Lokano dvijate cha yaha. Lokano means one who also cannot be agitated or perturbed by the world. Okay. I don't create any agitation among the people with whom I am interacting, and nobody creates, however they are. But I don't get disturbed in anybody's presence. Anybody. That's the meaning. And harsha, marsha, bhaya, udvegaihi. One who is free from harsha means joy, and then amarsha is intolerance or envy. Both ways they have given intolerance or sorrow or envy. Three different ways they have translated. One who is free from joy, intolerance, fear, anxiety. Such a person is dear to me. See how beautifully he says, you must live in the society in a way that doesn't disturb others, and you also should not get disturbed uh, by others. Oh, sorry, I missed out the 13th shloka. So that is the 14th one. So, and be free from happiness, joy. I will discuss more. It's not that we should just let go of our joy and happiness, but they have a, the interpretation is slightly different. And of course, fear, anxiety, you should give up. The previous one, santushtaha satatam yogi. Santushtaha means contented person or happy person or cheerful. You can call a person who is contented. He never is unhappy. He is always happy, contented. Whatever he is, whoever. Sorry. Hmm. So santushtaha satatam yogi yat atma drida nishchayaha. Drida nishchayaha means taking a permanent resolve. So santushtaha is contented person who has no complaints, no expectations. He is happy in his own situation. Satatam yogi, constantly he is a yogi. Yogi means what? Yogi means a person who is connected with higher things. Consciousness is ideal, but otherwise also a person who is always in the exalted state of a, thinking about higher things, not selfish. That is the basic meaning of yogi. True meaning is, as I said, the one who gets connected with the higher consciousness, with Lord, with God, or consciousness, whatever you call. Satatam, constantly, consistently. That means he does puja, he does meditation, or he reads some book that is his spiritual practice, or goes to a temple, whatever the person takes. And after that, when he works, he surrenders everything to God and he says, I am just an instrument. Or he believes that if he's a jnana yogi, he will say everything is done by the prakriti. I am just an observer because aham brahmasmi. So that is the way another person will take. So in any, um, whether you take this way or that way, you should be in that attitude throughout. That is satatam yogi. Yat atma drida nishchayaha. Drida nishchayaha means take a firm resolution. So you resolve to walk in this path. This is my spiritual path. Uh, and you realize that it is giving you a lot of rationality to your life. It's giving a lot of wisdom. It's making you feel lighter. And once you commit, you must take it seriously, not waver. That is the meaning of Drida Nishchayaha. That is a spiritual path. Otherwise, also, Drida Nishchaya means a person whose buddhi is fixed, as we said, whose intellect is matured. He will not be, always in dilemma. He will take, if he takes decision, he will stick to that. You have to, that is a Drida Nishchaya. Maya arpita mano buddhi. Surrender your mind and buddhi, mind and intellect. Intellect is analytical or discriminatory ability, faculty of the mind. That's little higher than the mind, which is decisive. So that also you surrender to me. Mayarpita, the one who surrenders that to me, Yo mat bhaktaha sa me priyaha. He is dear to me. So these are so many qualities in these two shlokas. One is contented, then constantly is thinking about the higher, then he is firm in his resolutions, and he surrenders his mind and intellect, and he doesn't get affected, agitated by anybody, or he doesn't create agitation among others. He is free from joy, intolerance, fear, and anxiety. So these are the qualities or attributes of a good devotee whom I like, says Krishna in 14th and 15th shloka. Santushtaha means contented. As I said, always cheerful. Nobody is free from uh, problems. Some complain, some don't complain. Um, this person, he feels that whatever I require, his requirements are less comparatively. Requirements are less means he's happy with those. So basic requirements: food, shelter, house, clothing. These are the basic requirements. Without that, these are the major things. Apart from that, if you are kept comfortably or working every day to a reasonable state, then complaint should not be there at all. I will give one exercise. Take 2 minutes and write down uh, what are the comforts or benefits, or what I should say, things for which you are grateful to God. I will not ask, but I want you to write. Just take 2 minutes, write it on a white sheet or your diary, whatever you have, or on your mobile, you can save as notes. Write down how many points you want to write. You can write, at least write about whatever. I will not say minimum also. What are you happy with in your life? What are you happy with in your life? Each one of us have our own set of uh, blessings, or we have our own possessions, or whatever, anything for which you feel blessed. So please write down. I will give you 2 minutes. Just write down. You need not tell me. Write down the things which you feel you are blessed with. Starting from the basic. All right. So keep it. We'll come back to that. So uh, we have so many things, but there are people, or we also. I don't. I mean, say that we are all perfect. We have a lot of things, negative things within us also. We are working on that, anyways. So a person who is not complaining is the person who is santushtaha. Opposite of santushta is atrupti or asantushta or complaining for whatever you have. You might have seen people who are not happy with anything they get. Always the outlook is they will see into the glass half empty. You know that, right? Positive thinking is when you give a person with the glass which is half full, a positive thinker who says it's half full, positive thinker or optimism or person who doesn't complain. Person who always complains, you put him on the give him the prime minister position also, he will have a big list of complaints. So he will always see that the glass is half empty. It's just the same thing, but how we perceive. So that should not be there. Complaining attitude, actually it destroys somebody's energy. We should not complain with whatever we have. That doesn't mean we must accept everything and keep going. Asantushtaha doesn't mean that he's an inert person. No, he acts. But what is the difference? Santushtaha person knows that there are problems, but he knows there are solutions also. He will try to bring solution there. He is solution oriented person. Asantushtaha, complainant, is always problem oriented person. That's the only difference. We all have heard these things earlier also. But in spite of that, we see many people around. We must not be complaining. We should always be guarded of our own thoughts and unnecessarily. Of course, we must find out the faults in the system which needs to be rectified. So when we find that there are some deficiencies either at home or outside or with the persons, then it is good to find because it's a part of quality, and you want to improve. Then the way we tell it, and we should go with a solution for that. I think we can do it like this. I think there is so much of traffic. Maybe that's how they do. No, let's stop big vehicles, large vehicles. Let's not have them between 9 to 5. Let's have carpooling. There are so many for control of Bangalore traffic. I'm saying like that. We have so many things in our life which we can take care. There was one person had come to our college, institute. Why they He was from Banjara Academy. I don't get his name. Anybody knows his name? So he was telling this. He was invited for Freshers' Day. So he was telling somebody was complaining that they didn't get a job. Then he said after few some every day he used to go for a walk. That I don't have job, sir. I took VRS. I wanted to VRS voluntary retirement, middle aged man. I wanted to work here there, and but I have not yet found a job. So he said, okay, just wait, we will see. After some time, I hope you get soon. Like that, they are discussing. Maybe about 15 days or so. After that, he gets a job. Then he says, sir, I got a job. Excellent, congratulations. What to do, sir? It is so far. And Bangalore, the world knows about Bangalore traffic and Bangalore systems for commuting. He says it's about 25 kilometers. But you badly wanted a job. Yes, sir, I wanted, but what to do? It is so far. Are you going to take it? Yes, sir, what to do? It's my fate. I will take the job. Then he continues to walk with him every morning. After a few days, he says, too much of traffic, sir. I'm traveling by the company van, but so many people come, I don't get along with people and all that. He will said, but it's so nice that company has given you a van. You need not take the public transport because public transport takes a lot of time. So that's okay, sir. It's okay. He will tell. Then after some time, he says, after another 15 days, another complaint is, how's your job? This man asks him. He says, job is good, but they don't provide lunch, sir. We have to carry from home. So he says, that's okay. You're eating healthy food. Sir, who has to get up early in the morning? I should ask my wife to cook. I am not a good cook. So everything, he only wanted a job. He says commuting, he says bus problem, he says lunch problem. So there is no end. And when you give solution, they do not want to take. So this becomes a, it becomes a complaining habit. So this becomes, what I should say, they develop the habit of complaining for whatever they get. So that should not be the person. So in if we are So if we are not, if we are complaining, complaint box, what happens is, it is not only your energy gets drained, you keep on complaining, cribbing, finding faults in anything that is around you. Then what happens is the energy of the other person also goes. And yesterday I read one very interesting thing. Ayurveda says that if you are a complainant, then that means throughout the day, whether you're telling it to somebody, if you're not telling, in your mind you're thinking, right? So that affects you physically. They say your vata, pitta, kapha, all that, there is an imbalance. Even if we talk from the modern science, such people who are always complaining, who are not happy at any point of time, that affects their, what we call physiologically, what's called as homeostasis, internal environment, you know the immunological imbalance, endocrine, because they are not happy. You tell whatever you give, they are not happy. They find fault with any system here. This is asantushtaha. Krishna says, Santushta, don't do that. There are certain things, then shouldn't we set right the things? Yes, you are supposed to set right. A person who comes with solutions is happy. He doesn't crib. He finds happiness in solving those problems, right? He's happy in solving those problems. He's cheerful. He is healthy. And there are certain things wherever you work, or at home or outside with people, which you cannot change at all. Then what do? We have to endure. But you give your best to solve those problems. But if you cannot, then you have to endure, or you have to ignore, or you have to accept. Endurance means, endurance is not with pain. You have to do it, like practically, objectively. You should feel that this is how it is going to be. I can't help it, because you cannot find perfect things anywhere, isn't it? This is what a santushtaha. So Krishna says, this is the behavior which I expect. You should be cheerful, non-complaining, happy, and you be you be a solution finder, not a problem finder, so that it doesn't drain your energy. You feel very, very cheerful. So that is santushtaha. Then satatam yogi. So these kind of people you would have found in your close, this one also. That is why I said, the opposite of it is, we must write down what are our blessings. What is the, how many I will not ask you. Shubha, I gave one exercise just now. You can write down what are we blessed with, which many people don't have. You can, you need not even compare. Just look at that. Just write down. And I'll come back to this. The number, it will go to an unimaginable number. You will have unimaginable number. That will be the big list of the things that we already have, but we waste our time unnecessarily complaining. That should not be a thing. That is against that bhakti. Satatam yogi means these things must be always satata. Yogi is what? Yogi means bhakta. In bhakti yoga, it is bhakti. Jnana yoga is always exploration. So you consistently, continuously, you should be always in that state, higher state of exploring, what is good, higher things. Don't put your mind in lower things at all. Then the third thing is Drida Nishchaya. Drida Nishchaya means, as I said, take a firm resolve. The highest example is Bhishma Pratijna, we have seen. No? What a resolution he took when he said, I will not get, and this decision, he said, I will never get married, because my father, his father was supposed to get married to a lady whom he liked. And that lady says, if I get married to your father, my children will not occupy the throne. They will not be the successor. You are going to rule. So why should I get married? So um, what Bhishma says, in that case, I will sacrifice. I will not get married to any of I mean, I will not get married at any point of time. Okay, just a minute. So I will not get married at any point of time, so that my father's wishes are fulfilled. Look at that. So those are very high end sacrifices and decisions. But if we resolve, they say, particularly spiritual seekers, if we resolve to do something as a part of our evolution or as a part of our self improvement, some discipline, like getting up, even if it is simple things, like getting up in the morning or doing yogasana every day, then we should stick to that. We should not waver. That is Drida Nishchaya. Mai arpita mano buddhihi. He says, surrender to me. Why does he say? Because in order to achieve, I don't want to be a complaint box. I want to be a yogi. I want to be uh, Drida Nishchaya. I should take firm resolutions. So, in order to do that, it's not possible by our efforts alone. Of course, some people, I mean, without talking about Maya Pita Manobuddhi, it is still possible. But Krishna says, also surrender your mind and buddhi to me, because that will ease out our efforts in bringing out this kind of resolutions. I will be happy. I will be cheerful. I'll be smiling. Next day, our mind will drain. Next, it will take us to the lower level. But if we have surrendered our mind, Mayarpita Manobuddhi. So, in two ways, he says, be a contented person, be a yogi, have firm resolution, and surrender your mind and buddhi. In the bracket, this will help us to follow whatever he says, because he is ever ready, always, willing to help us. So, surrender. You have to surrender. Surrender is what mentally we have to uh, express in our thoughts, that whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm speaking, whatever I'm doing, it's all because of you, and I surrender. I'm not the doer. I'm only an instrument. I'm part of this prakriti. I only have a choice. I surrender to you so that I can make better choice. Instead of sleeping for a long time, instead of cribbing, instead of complaining, help me to find solutions. So that is surrender. And this kind of people are very dear to me, says Krishna. Next one is very, very important. Yasmanno dvijate loko, lokano dvijate chayaha. So, what is the meaning? Yasman, as I said, what does it mean? It means that a person who, in whose presence the world is not agitated or the world is not perturbed. That means sometimes, no, some people, including us, supposing we go somewhere and somebody feels uncomfortable in our presence, or some people are avoiding. So, if I mean that is not done, nobody should feel uncomfortable in your presence. No, it's like a symbiotic relationship. You also be happy, I'm also happy. I smile, I sit in a meeting or in at home. First is at home. So we are comfortable with each other. We like to talk to each other, whether it is with a spouse, with parents, with children. We are comfortable. So that should be the mental state, he says. Your behavior should be in such a way that nobody feels awkward in your presence, awkward or embarrassed or hurt. You might have told something which may remind them of your past injuries, maybe your subordinates, your colleagues. So such things should not happen. That means our behavior should be such that we are pleasant to everybody. We are always pleasant. The best thing is we have to keep smiling and not remember the past. Um, it's not that, oh, making a frowned face or serious face. The minute somebody enters, last time we had a friction, so I'm not comfortable to talk. That should never be there, because the bhakti says, bhakti marga or yogi or yoga or spiritual sadhana or evolution, you can just call it like that. So that demands that you should forget the past and act. You should forget, forgive. You can learn, but be very communicative, gentle with them. So that pleasantness, your presence should be very pleasant. At least it should not be unpleasant. You understand? Neutral. Idru ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬಿಟ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Whether he is there, he is not there, it doesn't bother. I'm neither happy with that person nor unhappy. So that should be the your behavior should not trigger any kind of negative feelings, unpleasantness in anybody around you, starting from your home, of course, outside neighbors, society, professional colleagues, whatever it applies to, everything. So that is how you should be. At the same time, you should not be affected by anybody's presence. It's a dual thing. So how can we prevent? Many times we also would have got hurt, they would have traumatized or something. Again, forgive and forget, and be fearless also. Don't be afraid of somebody also, he says. The interpretation. Swami Ranganathananji says. That means this is the first time I came across a very, I mean, last time I had not referred to this commentary. Very beautifully, Swamiji says, this personality is like having gentleness when you behave with others, and strength when others are with you, strength. That means fearlessness. I'm not afraid of anybody. Why should I be afraid? What mistake I have done? This much of security, you should feel so secure. So insecurity feeling comes sometimes. Sometimes some situations will be there, but you have to work on that and never allow that to happen. And how to reach this state? One is our Maya Arpita Manobuddhi applies here also. Constantly, if you are in meditative mode, then what will happen is, if a person has traumatized or you have had some not so pleasant interactions before this, then you will say it's okay. Things do happen because you are now elevated. You feel, uh, you know, at that time, maybe that person was not in a good mood. Maybe he has had something. Repeatedly, if he does, then there's a different attitude. Is that also requires strength, and you can definitely take that stand and see that it doesn't disturb you. But if once or twice somebody has done unintentionally, and maybe something else or some other thing has happened, you know how to solve the interpersonal relationship. Whatever it is, we need to solve and see that whenever you meet that person, you will not be disturbed. That fellow may not talk to you, but you should not have that feeling. It is his problem. If he doesn't talk to you, or if he shows something, let him show on his face. But I will not be disturbed because I have that inner strength. You can also show some reaction, not overreaction. You can respond, but do not have within, do not trigger some kind of emotions, negative emotions. So you should not, udvigna is a higher anxiety. Yasmano dvijate means the world does not get agitated, and neither I will get agitated by somebody. I will make myself very comfortable. And these things are possible only when we actually sit and work on that. You cannot have single day, we cannot have such thoughts, We should keep working. Whenever we face, okay, why did it happen? Let me work on that. And of course, we have a very strong support of Bhagavad Gita, Mayar Pita Mano Buddhihi. So gentleness and strength, both are required. You may not shout or you may not be loud to suppress another person, but within you have the strength to ignore another person's agitation, another person's insecurities. You will have the inner strength not to respond. You will have the inner strength not to react. You may respond, you will not react. So that is the meaning of yasmano dvijate loko lokano dvijate jayaha. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that when we interact with people, no, we must be very cautious, because every person has, I keep repeating this example. He says both kinds of thoughts are there in any individual. He will have a divine, obviously, because consciousness is there. Devilish also, based on his past experience. So when you talk, no, if you trigger a sensitive thing, he may burst out or he may blow out of proportion. But if you trigger in a nicer way, appreciate, talk in a gentle way, then you will trigger the divinity, and he will come out with the best of his personality, best of his personality. So dual ways, you are avoiding any kind of unnecessary friction, and at the same time you are spreading the divinity. You are spreading that divinity. So human interaction is very, very complex, and one must be very much aware. And if we take the responsibility, no, we should not blame. He did not speak, she did not speak, he created, they created. No. What is you? How are you going to handle that and bring it back? So we must we live and let live. Yasmanod Vijatel means live and let live. Emotionally. Live and let live. Let them also be happy in whatever world they are. They may be evolved, not evolved, not my concern at all. I will not be perturbed. So Narendra Modi also used to tell, strength need not be always, not reacting, or sometimes reaction may be required. We may have to react also. React means show a strength in that form, but after that you should come back to normalcy. Narendra Modi used to tell, we know how to play the flute. We also know how to use a Sudarshan Chakra like Krishna. Krishna has been melodiously singing amidst all the, Gopika girls, ladies, and attracting all the cows, and the entire Nanda Gopal was very happy. He was very charming fellow, pleasant fellow. Obviously, he's a incarnation, but when required, he will pick up the Sudarshan Chakra and behead Tishupala, massacre. In the Kurukshetra, he has been a very strong supporter of Arjuna towards finishing those people, opposite party. So like that, we must have both. Combination of both the qualities is required. When to use what, you should remember. Harsha, Amarsha, Bhaya, Udvegai. This is very, he says, don't be anxious, don't have fear, don't be joyous, don't be intolerant. That means excessive. It's not that Harsha is joy. You may enjoy, some beautiful scenery is there, beautiful movie is there, and beautiful music is there. You will enjoy it. But don't be excessive. I told you last time, excessive because if you are excessive means, I said how the graph goes up and down like this, peak and trough, how we mark. It should not be too much. Any external stimulus should not trigger you for so much of happiness. We have seen people become so excited. That is the right word, I think. Oh, they become so restless going here, there, somebody's wedding is there, somebody is getting married, some third person from distant relative you would have seen. He'll be harping, jumping. ಏನ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ನೋಡೋ ಹಂಗಿರ್ತದೆ. So ಆ ತರದ್ದು, that is not maturity. Don't be over excited, in other words. And Amar says intolerance. Don't have intolerance. Intolerance, he also refers to this Yasman or Vijate, means not tolerating people or situations. You are that also excessively. You are complaining, cribbing. Cribbing means deep. You just want to get out of this. When do I get out of this misery? When do I? No, you should not. We must have patience and don't have fear and anxiety, he says. Fear and anxiety. So why are we afraid of? Why are we insecure? We are either thinking of, mostly the fear is for future, isn't it? Either financially or uh, emotionally. I mean, what I should say, yeah, we are afraid of what would be our future. We are mostly futuristic. We are thinking, what if something happens to me physically? What if this illness happens to me? So this fear is something which takes so much, again, just like complaining, which takes so much of your energy and consumes that. If you make it as a habit, you know, if you make it as your habit, then nobody can save you. Nobody. Because this fear and anxiety, actually, anxiety, when we describe in psychiatric terms also, it is disproportionate apprehension, let's say, for an impending situation. It's disproportionate. Many people get afraid. Some simple things like guests are coming tomorrow. I have to cook, I have to keep my house ready, everything is there. So we do that. But anxious people, what if they do that? What if I'm not ready? What if the maid doesn't turn up? In India, we have luxury of maids. What if I don't arrange something properly? So they start feeling so much of anxiety. This is a simple example I'm giving. There are so many examples like this, and these are very basic, fundamental things which I'm talking. But anxiety can turn into palpitation, heart beats faster, and then tremors can happen, sweating can happen. This is exactly what Arjuna went through, no, on the battle of Kurukshetra. In the opening remarks of Bhagavad Gita, he says, I just cannot fight with my own people, and my own people are going to die. How will I manage this? How can I rule over the bloodshed? So, with that, he becomes very nervous, anxious of the future. So, Krishna gives all those explanations to ease him out of that anxiety. So, Krishna is saying, Harsha, Marsha, Bhayo, Dvega, Muktaha. He says, just get rid of them. How to do that? Muktaha, he only has to help. It should come from within only. So anxiety. So you normally the fear and anxiety, they go hand in hand. And for fearlessness, everybody is not the same. Everyone in this society are of different temperament. All are not having anxiety. There are few people who are working for others, selflessly. People who are not less egoistic and who are highly responsible. These are, they don't have fear actually, because, and who follow the rules, law of the land, right? They follow the rules and regulations. I'm doing my duty, allotted duties, not over, not less. I'm doing my responsibility, and I may cross a little extra mile, and I'm doing the right thing. What is the right thing? It's a very relative term. Right thing is which follows the law of the land, number one, and which is in the interest of everybody. It is not only me. It's not only me. I will just take care of myself and be done. I am not least bothered about what others do. No, I will do what is good for everybody. I consider myself as part of the system. If we work in this way, then by and large we are fearless, or rather we should be fearless. We should be fearless because you are taking the responsibilities, you are doing your duties, you are doing for welfare of people. Then you must relax without even talking about bhakti. This itself is bhakti only. This is God's work, because you are doing niyatam kuru karmatva, Krishna says. Do your allotted responsibilities, he has told in third chapter. So that should give us the strength. Atma Bala is this only. Spiritual strength is this only. Even before you meditate or worship, before that you are thinking of higher things. You are putting others before you. Means others means not at your cost, but you are considering for the system. You are not thinking only of you. You are thinking, if I do this, then how does it disturb others? Does it harm anybody? No, I should not, simple things. I should park my vehicle in such a way others will be able to take it back. Simple I'm giving. This also people. So when we think, when our thought process or evolution is in this manner, then automatically we become fearless. On the contrary, if a person, of course, the extremes are dishonesty, cheating, corruption, all those things which they do, no, those kind of people are, those will give a fear, because they know within they are not doing the right thing. They are not doing the right thing. Second thing is, you may be doing your duty and all that, but you have restricted yourself. You're restricted and formed a very small community of or your first close relative, spouse, child, or your job, your boss, and your support. That's all. You're not thinking holistically. So then you will have fearlessness, and the best uh, approach for fearlessness is spiritual practices. Apart from doing this, you have to do spiritual, because uh, when I'm connected to my Ishtadevata or the divinity or the higher consciousness strongly, then a bhakta says, let people take anything from me, let them tell me anything, let them insult me, whatever. Nobody can take that God from me. This is my Guruji had told. Will they take my God from me? No, I am strongly connected. And so is the case with each one of you, because each one of us are connected to God, and we are embodiment of that consciousness only. So he's with me, and he'll be forever with me. So I need not worry, because that becomes this is a higher thinking in spiritual evolution. So this is the way we get rid of fearlessness, because we become so much attached to him. The grace also flows, but our focus has shifted to the higher thing. And we say, this is my priority. You go and fight whatever. I am least bothered. I am not afraid of anything. He's always with me. Still higher is, even when I die, he's going to be with me. So why should I bother about death? If you get over the fear of death, that is the highest fear, then everything else is sorted out. I don't have to fear anything because I have conquered the death only because he is with me, no? You know what happens in that body goes, and my linga sharira or sukshma sharira or subtle body, which has got this mind, complex mind, subconscious mind, buddhi, ahankar, everything, with the soul or the divine consciousness that leaves. So wherever I go, is there. Next birth I'm going to take, again he will come. So why should I bother? So this is the concept. Fearlessness at its perfect state is obtainable only through spiritual practice. And another thing my friend said, and same with anxiety also, they are interrelated. Why are we anxious? Uh, why should we be anxious? Bhagavad Gita gives a lot of assurance for fear and anxiety, because his anxiety is for something, no? Some worry, some dukkha, some suffering. I'm not able to take it. And what if somebody is sick? What if something happens? What so matra? Last time I told this statement: matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha, agama payino anityaha, tam stitikshasva bharata. So these sukha and dukkha are not permanent. They are not going to stay. Just as the summer comes after winter, so also extreme cold. Let's wait. Summer will come. Extreme heat. Let's wait. Spring or other season will come. So nothing is permanent, and that he shows through his nature. So similar thing is, and if you look at your past, did any of the misery or suffering which you had to go through in the past, has it stayed for long? No. Today, if you look back, you will say, "Oh, that was for a very short time." It, this too shall pass. This is the statement which we should keep making. So Krishna says it doesn't stay permanently. So why are you afraid? Why are you anxious? About what are you anxious? And he says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma, shashvak shashvak shapanti nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranashyati. 10th chapter he says. So whoever is practicing spiritual sadhana, or in spiritual means need not be hours together. No, simple. Just remember him every day and surrender your actions. That's all. So when they do it consistently, quickly they become dharmatma. They become higher souls, and they become very close to me. And once they come closer to me, name bhaktaha pranashyati, name bhaktaha pranashyati. My devotee shall never perish. One more assurance. योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. I will take care of them. So why are you worried? So again and again, regularly, no, if you read the entire Gita, Krishna is assuring, come to me and I will take care. So what is the condition? First you come to me. Come. If you come, I will take care. And if you remember, Uddhava Gita has told, no, Yudhishthira, he did not call him while he was playing the game of dice. Krishna clearly says, I know Yudhishthira is my bhakta. He did not call me. He was peeping and looking what is happening. He didn't call me. Had he called me, I would have gone. Uddhava, his close relative, he asks him, Krishna, you could have avoided. You are with the Pandavas. You could have avoided this entire Vanvas and everything. Why did you not help Yudhishthira in playing that? And Shakuni won. So he didn't call me. That's all. He should call. When he calls, I will come. So here also, anxiety, fearlessness, everything is possible. We can get rid of all this. I put anger, but we'll go to anger at a little later stage. But if you go to him, only then. How to go to him? Surrender. How to surrender? How to practice that? Every day we have to meditate. There is no escape or there is no rule. So this is one of the permanent, eternal solutions for fear and anxiety. I don't say that anxiety is also a clinical disorder and medications may be required. And because until a person develops the desire to go to the bhakti, until then, no, we cannot say do chanting, do meditation, your anxiety will come down. No, depression or anxiety. These are clinical cases. You have to go to a counselor, you have to take treatment and gradually wean off the treatment. For diabetes also, no, we are reversing diabetes nowadays. People have reversed, so they wean off the medications and they come out of it. So I'm not, I myself, I'm a pharmacologist, so I cannot say don't take medications. So anxiety, depression, nervousness, we have to consult, but along with that, support with counseling, and make an attempt. When your mind becomes, with counseling, it becomes little, stable. Then explore this, explore the way of Gita, which it can, if followed with devotion, with faith in the process, and if you are able to surrender, not everybody can surrender, not everybody can accept it. This is, I'm saying, for people who can surrender, who can think of this as, one of the means, then this will become the permanent way. Because uh, uh, my another mentor is there. She was telling somebody, she said somewhere it has been given international quote: if at all a solution has to come for mental health issues, it should come from the consciousness only. It should come, the permanent eternal solution to ease out or dilute our fear, anxiety, nervousness, depression, in early stages particularly, is through consciousness. And if anybody has the bent of mind towards spiritual, everybody doesn't have very, very clear. Krishna himself says one among thousands, something like that. So they are lucky that if they are guided and if they open Bhagavad Gita and follow it sincerely, then Krishna, you develop connect with Krishna and he solves. Even if it's not Krishna, some consciousness, as I said, not with the flute or Shankar Chakra, no. That consciousness is having that much potential. It is all powerful to take care of, to make us emotionally highly objective. That means emotional maturity, ability to handle our emotions. And this should come. We cannot say we must have emotions. Somebody said recently, we must go through the emotions. One of the YouTube lectures I was listening to, one great speaker, he was saying you should go through that emotions. You should have pain, you should have suffering. Only then you will come out of that. Okay. So spirituality doesn't mean that we are all in pain and therefore we are doing no. We are blissful, we are joyful because we are. This is a solution we are trying to find. So therefore, he says that Name Bhaktaha Pranashati Yogakshemam Vahamyam Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Mashucha. Don't worry. Sarvadharman Parityajya means bare dharma religion Allah. Leave everything else. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Come to me directly. He means Parabrahman. You can, again I'm saying Shiva, Krishna, anybody, any gods, Kali, surrender to me. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Mashucha. I don't worry. I will release you from all your past karma, because Sarva Papebhyo, he says, means your past sins or karma. We have done so many things we don't know. But you come to me, keep remembering me, I will clear off. Clear off means we will get the strength also, and maybe he will change, because some places he has told that the past karmas are lost. Lost means karma means another thing is these people. I mean, if we are liberated also, our we have to go through our doings of our karma, but futuristic, that imprint will not happen because we are liberated. But what we have to fulfill, that payment cards, we have to give that. So anyway, so but there is a big solution, big hope, that approaching Krishna, approaching the higher consciousness, is going to get rid of our fear and anxiety, because we develop a strong attachment to him, which no human can give us so much of. Which human can give us this assurance? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. No human can give. His papa only he will be having, his or her papa. Where he will clear our papa? We are all full of our our own karmas. They are full of their own karmas. Maybe, but holy people, in Bhagavad Purana also they say, holy people, those sadhus and genuine sadhus, they can give us hope. Through them, Krishna can come. So those are some of our, uh, places where uh, we can, uh, we can approach, and actually you will start feeling the changes, when you interact with holy person. Last shloka for the day. I'll take. Anapekshah shuchir daksha udasino gatavyatha sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhaktah sa me priyaha. Anapeksha means one who actually, apeksha is expectation. So anapeksha means he doesn't have any expectation. Also, they say Swamiji has given who is free from dependence. He doesn't want to depend. He doesn't depend on anybody. He's totally independent, financially independent, emotionally independent, physically independent. A bhakta throughout his life is he can survive all alone. That is the greatest thing Krishna is talking now. You can live alone. Alone means the body is alone. Within there is consciousness, no? So we are never literally alone. Anapeksha, shuchir daksha. Shuchi he means a clean. Shuchi is cleanliness. Also it means purity. Cleanliness outside, external environment also he keeps everything clean, neat, tidy, and his mind is also pure. The greatest obstacle for purity of mind is jealousy. In Bhagavad Purana, it starts. Nirmatsaranam, it says. Nirmatsaranam. Jealousy is the biggest enemy for us. So, Shuchihi, Daksha. Daksha means efficient, competent, one who is free from dependence, or one who doesn't expect, who is pure, and one who is competent, efficient, Daksha. And udasino gatavyatha. Udasina means indifference. Can we be indifferent? No, here he is saying with respect to indifferent to anything which does not elevate him. There are so many things happening around you, and you can be part of each and everything. Where does it take you to? Does it take you towards God, or towards your evolution, or towards getting over fear, anxiety, developing your virtues and qualities and attributes of a bhakta? Then you participate. Otherwise, no. So that is the meaning. Udasina means he shows, one is, another interpretation is he's neutral. That's also Udasina in another commentator has told. But unconcerned or indifferent also is an explanation which says that whatever is not going to help him, he's so well resolved, so well focused, that for others he's Udasina in those undertakings. Udasina, sorry. Gatav vyatha. Vyatha is suffering, depression. Here, we can take it as depressed mind. He gives up. He is always elevated. Always elevated. Anything that takes him down, he tries to come up at the earliest. What is bothering me? Why am I depressed? If you sit for a few minutes, even without meditating, lock yourselves. Sometimes mind is very low. So if you sit for 5 minutes without any meditation, just think, see what is bothering you. Then you will find either you are jealous, or you're comparing with something, or you are hurt, because hurting means they have insulted you or something. So you'll find a reason, and then you will act accordingly, because he is a bhakta, is a solution oriented person. So gata vyatha, so he works on that. Vyatha he will not have. He will not keep thinking again and again of the same problem, because he is attached not to the problem but to the consciousness inside. Sarvarambha parityagi. Again, it is similar to what we said about Udasina. He will renounce every other undertaking which affects him. Every undertaking, it says Sarvarambha means it covers. But we must understand that what helps him, he continues. What takes him down, he discontinues. Yo mat bhaktaha sa me priyaha. So anapekshaha is very, very important. We must not have too much of expectations. Expectation should be there from any situation to run the system smoothly. Supposing in the family, there is husband, wife, child. This is one family, nuclear family, you can say. Let's leave the other generations. So together they should run the family. Together they should bring up the child or children. If one person totally ignores and he's least bothered, then it is not wrong to expect from him that he should do his responsibility, because the system requires it. System requires that both should put enough effort in molding the child's behavior, bringing up the child. So we cannot have the conservatism or traditionally, or we can say when man is earning, woman is. No, everybody is equal nowadays. Equal means in terms of sharing the responsibilities, because it is in the interest of the system, in the institute, in the workplace also. Everybody has to work. No, how can I don't expect anything? I only will do. Can the head of the institution or head of the department say I don't expect? No, he must expect. He must tell, but without telling, keeping in the mind and suffering because that person is not doing, I'm expecting. Take full action, but so you have to act, you have to express, you have to expect also. But unnecessary expectations which are never ending, that should not be there. You fulfill one, then you have another expectation. No. And expectation which are trivial, which may not be required for the system, ignore them. Don't expect that. But responsibilities we must expect. Uh, but here, when you advance very spiritually, then a person becomes totally zero. If you want, he will try, he will, he will make all the efforts to make the other person fulfill his responsibility because of his expectation. If he doesn't, then he will stop expecting, he will find alternative means, so that, as I gave the example, the child is brought up smoothly and it goes without any hindrance, because she or he, they have tried enough and nothing can be done. And the focus is the child, the family. It has to run. So that person will go, but he will not complain. He will become totally independent. He will become innovative towards solution, and he will function. But he will not be depressed. But he will become independent. That is anapeksha. Shuchihi, I told you, pure. Daksha is efficient. Krishna likes efficient people. How do we become efficient? Mere hard work. Hard work should be there. No compromise on our duties, responsibilities. Maximum we have to do. Then only we can become daksha. And no suffering. Again and again. See, why do we suffer? Vyatha, gata vyatha. Vyatha should be kept aside. When do we become depressed or suffering? The first thing is when we think about that. So detach yourself from that event, from what is happening. Let it happen. Put your efforts and detach. Put your efforts, detach. Detach means no thinking, no obsession. It's very difficult, what I'm saying. It's very difficult. We have to practice it. It comes with practice and with our strong devotion to consciousness or Krishna. Only then we will be able to overcome our day. It takes really very strong effort. And because that suffering is our karma phala, it is our own doing. So something where somebody is troubling you means we would have had the same karmic relation previously, and now we are paying for it. So anyway, you are paying it, get complete it, finish it off, and don't build another karma. How do we do that? By surrendering and accepting it's my karma. Okay, I will put efforts. I will surrender to God. Don't think whatever I'm saying is an act of cowardice. No, it is an act of strength. Surrender, devotion, and not expecting is an act of strength. It is not cowardice, because everybody cannot let go of expectations. Only when you have strength, you can let go. And that strength also, it is our spiritual strength. We wouldn't be doing our spiritual practices, but we would have already done. A man may become he may be very mature, least expecting, least dependent. He may be born like that because he would have done some homework in the last birth. So everybody need not sit with Bhagavad Gita. Some people are doing all these without actually doing any spiritual practices. We never know. All right. So these are for today's takeaways. And now you have written uh, what you have written the points for which we are blessed. Okay. I don't know how small is the list or how big. It is your individual. Now you rewrite that and see whether the list is goes beyond number one. And one more second point is write uh, your expectations. Be very honest. Okay, be very honest. I will not ask you. Write down what are you expecting from your immediate circle and from this world. So, immediate circle, your profession, professional colleagues or environment, and from the universe. What expectations which are not fulfilled, or you had these expectations, or you still have, and you feel I deserve it. Write down those also. And if you take the ratio between what I'm blessed and what are my expectations, that ratio, if the number is big, then you are happy. This is what is told by Lokamanya Tilak. He has written a book called Gita Rahasya, which is in the one. So, so that ratio, Lokmanya Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he was our freedom fighter. He has written, more you have the blessing, no? That is the numerator. If it is big, I'm blessed for this, let's say 10. And I have expectation of 5. 10 by 5 is 2. If you have blessings about 5 and expectations are 10, then it is less than 1. You will be unhappy. So it's a beautiful, I always like this ratio of counting on blessings with that of expectations from the system. From I deserve this, I deserve that, I wanted this, I should have had this, I should have had a good husband, I should have a good wife, I should have built a big bungalow, I should have been that. Never ending. It will be there. So write down, and if your ratio is more than 1, we are still blessed. If it is less than 1, then please work out on that, and let's make our life very peaceful and least expecting. Be contented with what we have. Santushtaha, and continuously satatam yogi dridhanishchayaha mayarpita manobuddhihi, and yasmano, no agitation for others, live and let live peacefully, and anapeksha shuchi daksha, and one more is what santushta satatam yogi atatma harshamarsh bhayodvegaihi, bhaya udvega, fear, anxiety, depression. Let's get rid of them, because Krishna is there with his great assurance. Let us tap that consciousness and be happy. So that's for the day. Anything would you like to add? It's open. One or two questions we can take. Little bit time in a hurry today, but still we should have. Anybody has anything
Ma'am, I
to add?
have two questions, ma'am.
Please.
First is in the